My apologies for the interruption. As I was saying, whenever this process occurs where you are now open and receiving to the darkness, you are now going to be of a low vibrational energy. And what's also going to happen is that you're going to be sending and receiving these signals. It's nothing to do with attraction, everything to do with activation. And in that process, your mind is now being taken control of. It is being invaded and it's being possessed. It's almost as if an invading army has come to capture your sovereignty, your inner sanctum, your oasis, your inner Eden. It is now in the property and the ownership and possession of something else, an outside entity. So now you are essentially becoming an ally for the darkness and a nemesis for the light. Monitor your feelings and emotions. Are they of a negative nature? This is a clear indication that whatever is taking you over is not intending on doing you any good. So if you're in a bad mood, your demeanor, your attitude, you're projecting that. And that's going to be answered. It's going to be responded to. It's nothing to do with attracting. You're not attracting anything. Everything is there already. You're not a fisherman going out into the ocean with a rod and reel and a hook and bait, and you're trying to attract a fish that's maybe a mile away. That's not in the immediate proximity of the spatial plane that you occupy. So you put the bait in the water, that trail scent, it travels through the water, the fish will detect it, and then you will draw it in. To some extent, that is attraction. This is not attraction. The darkness is everywhere. You're not attracting it. You're activating what's already in existence. So you've got to understand that you've got to monitor your feelings and emotions, your mood, your demeanor, your attitude, because if you wake up in the morning and you're in a bad mood, that's a clear indication that when your soul traveled to dream state, because when you fall asleep, when the body is at rest, the soul departs the body and travels to dream state or the realm of nightmares. And it brings back with it, hijackers, hitchhikers, stowaways, whatever you want to call it. They latch onto the soul, knowing that the soul is going to be returned to the body. And then those energies will determine and dictate the course and direction of your day. So you could wake up in a great mood one day, the next day a horrible mood. It's just the energies that you were exposed to. Now the soul has brought them back, incarnated once again in the body. The body wakes up, and you have now been locked into this multi-dimensional plane of whatever energy it is. So you have to understand that whenever you feel like you have a mood swing or a mood shift, your demeanor changes, your attitude, your character, your personality, your behaviors, your thoughts, your intentions, inclinations, ideas, your actions change, how you act, react, interact with others. You've got to monitor that. Is it of a positive nature? Is it of a negative nature? Because if it is of a negative nature, you're being possessed. I'm not talking about exorcist possessed like that level. That's extreme. But to some extent of a lesser gradation, you are being possessed. And that is the God's honest truth. So what you do about it is you recognize it, you catch it, you say, I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to allow this again, because what the darkness wants is like a cyclical, negative, self-destructive looping pattern of detrimental behaviors to be repeated to ad nauseum, because that's how they destroy you. That's how they get you to destroy yourself. So you don't progress and transform and change and expand and grow and flourish and blossom and rise in the garden of your own reality. That's how they do it. So therefore, when you are under possession, you have to recognize what's going on, and then you move consciously away from those elements. You have to take charge and control of your life. Never surrender your energy to the darkness. Something in you resonates with something with it. That's how they embrace it, because your inner demons are resonating in tandem with the external darkness of the outer world. And that's their that's their doorway into your mind. So therefore, when this happens, you got to recognize this and stop this process before it has a chance to take off, because if it does, it's going to ruin your day and potentially the remainder of your entire life. Some people are not strong enough. That's why they hear voices in their head that are not their own. That's the darkness telling them to kill themselves, kill others, do all these crazy things, because they don't have the intuitive awareness to realize what's going on. They live in a physical existence. All they know is what the Matrix is telling them. They're not aware of their cosmic abilities. So they have a very linear, lateral, two-dimensional mentality. They are not even cognizant of what's going on. They think they're going crazy. They're not. Something is trying to have at you to chisel away at you until it gets you to do what it wants you to do, and that's always something of a negative nature or a harmful nature. And it's never anything of a positive nature. And you have to understand, you have the power. You've always had the power. You can always have the power to take back control of your life that you surrendered a long time ago to these elements. And it doesn't have to be this way. It doesn't have to be this way. So if you wake up in a bad mood, your demeanor is horrible, your attitude is disgusting, you can rectify it by saying to yourself, this is not me. I do not identify with this. I refuse to accept this, and I will not allow this. And that's the straight out truth. And then you go to work on breaking it down, and you erase it, eradicate it by no longer feeding what they want. They want your fear. They want your anger. They want your aggression. They want to metastasize this until you're incandescent with rage, until you're just freaking out and you're just perturbed and you're upset and you're volatile. That's what they want. It says this is an artificially induced volatility, which causes stress, which triggers tangible physical ailments, which feeds into the pharmaceutical industry. And that's why so many people are on pills and medications. And the pharmaceutical industry is worth trillions of dollars. Why do you think that the matrix is stress? Why do you think they run at such a frenetic pace? Why do you think they call it a rat race? Scurrying around like rats with their heads cut off. Because your mind is like a blender. You can't even focus or think straight, let alone meditate. When you meditate, you connect with your inner being. And when you do that, you realize the divine truth that you are one with Source. And when that happens, then you're a threat to them. But they don't want that. That's why they always distract you. Oh, it's all distractions. They don't want you to focus on anything of substance. They want you to think that religion is your only connection to God, and you got to pay to have these answers given to you. You got to go in their church, their baptisms, their communions, their confirmations, their bar mitzvah, the bat mitzvah, and all the other garbage that goes along with it. It's all money. It's all money. Nothing to do with God, nothing to do with Jesus, nothing to do with religion. God has nothing to do with religion. Jesus has nothing to do with religion. Unfortunately, the names are synonymous with religion because they program you to believe it. God is a man, Jesus is white, and all the angels are Caucasian. It's a joke. It's an absolute joke. But anyway, recognize the signs of possession if you are in a really great mood and then it switches. Then you know that something is having at you. They're trying to find a way in. It's like an intruder, a burglar, a home invader trying to break into the inner sanctity of your home. And they found a way in, like an open window, a back door, anything that you're not aware of. And then once they're in, they're in. And then that's it. But you still have a chance to thwart them because you have to have a power that is unimaginable in their eyes. You have to be an unwavering positivity in the face of the utmost of adversity. And you do that by recognizing that when you change the way you view the world you view will change. I am in control. I am a master of my own energy, and I refuse to allow anything or anyone to take control of my energy, to dominate me, to control me, to govern me, to manipulate me, to use me, to coerce me, to dissuade me, to capitalize, and to try to own me. And that's when it stops. Amen.